Piracy is a logical solution by Patrick CC. He's not fucking wrong. He's not fucking wrong. But if you guys want to see the reactions live in real time, twitch.tv/Brando or whatever, like, subscribe, and let's get into it.
If buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't stealing, which is why piracy is no longer seen as digital theft reserved for risk takers and your plug who knew a sketchy website. Now it's easier and more convenient than ever. TV,
True.
movies, sports, live events, whatever you want for free. It's become so normalized that piracy sites are getting more yearly visits than every streaming service combined. But this makes sense when you consider that every facet of the entertainment industry has been destroyed by corporations. Even if you're not a sports fan, you will relate to this struggle, because you need to see how insanely difficult it is just to watch a basketball game. I live in Oklahoma City, and I really wanted to follow the Thunder and the entire Western Conference a couple years ago, so I bought NBA League Pass for $110 for the season. Silly me for thinking that one streaming service would have every game.
Everything I
League
wanted,
Pass
yeah.
only lets you watch games that are out of market, which meant I couldn't actually watch the Thunder games because I live in Oklahoma City.
Which is fucking ridiculous. It is easier for me to access literal pornography than to watch my local team play basketball. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy to y'all, bro? Like, come on, man. And it's more legal to do so too. That's crazy.
And those rights belong to the FanDuel Sports Network. And if the game was nationally televised, that was exclusively broadcast on ESPN or TNT, which meant I needed a cable package or another app like Hulu Live or Sling just to catch the games
TV,
literally happening
anything.
in my city. As of right now, if you
Actually, you can't even do YouTube
that you
TV anymore, because as of the recording of this video, they took ESPN and Disney off of YouTube TV because they couldn't reach an agreement. Sounds like greed.
be able to watch all of the NBA games in the US when they are actually happening live, you need to have ESPN, which requires you to have Hulu plus Live TV or YouTube TV or Sling Orange TV or with an upgraded cable package. Then you need Peacock, which is $11 per month. Then you need Prime Video, which is $9 per month, and ABC, which would come with your basic local cable subscription. The cheapest way to guarantee every game would be $66 in subscriptions and whatever your basic cable costs these days, which is on average about $25. So roughly $91 per month just to watch basketball, the cheapest. Now, me personally, I would never pirate anything. That is behavior I absolutely condemn, but I'm not.
We do not believe in pirating here on the Brando channel. Not in the slightest. Not at all. I highly think pirating is horrible and you shouldn't do it. Thank you.
Surprised anyone who would do it when all you got to do is go to one of the many widely available free websites, click the extremely clean
Don't be giving up the sauce. Don't be giving up the sauce. Don't be giving up the sauce. Patrick, what are you doing? Don't be showing them the shit. Fuck, man. Hello? Hello, Governor. How are you doing today? How are you? We're talking about privating. Looking straight out of Teen Beach Movie. The fuck does that mean? What does that even mean? You just said words to me. I don't even think those words. You are? Look at your shirt. If I like didn't know what my shirt was, even if I just saw like the blue and yellow lines, this looks like I'm wearing a Walmart vest. What about this get? Also, fire Disney movie, by the way. Oh, this? Yeah, no, I would have never guessed Teen Beach Movie. His stripes is like lower down. They would be like across my chest, not on my shoulders. Any fucking way. Back to the video.
That says the exact game or event you are looking for and just watch it for free. But honestly, we should have seen this terrible streaming climate coming from a mile away, because as they say, nothing good lasts forever. And to understand why piracy is so rampant today, we have to understand this detailed list of problems that piracy solves. Netflix used to be $8 per month, and it had a deep, deep catalog of some of the most popular shows ever.
Y'all will never understand how peak Netflix used to be. I could watch Iron Man. I could watch almost any Disney show I wanted to watch. Like, any movie I wanted to watch. Family Guy was on there. Iron Man was on there. Don't get me started about when Netflix originals was coming out. Because then Stranger Things came out. Orange is the New Black came out. Bro, oh my God. Netflix from like 2011 to like 2018. I think that was the best Netflix we had for a minute. We handed out Teen Beach Movie bracelets to the residents today, so it was in the forefront. Or did you just hand out 70s or 50s, 60s themed bracelets to the residents today? Not everything is Teen Beach Movie. There's like other stuff that happened in the 50s and 60s.
Made, The Office, Friends, Breaking Bad, Dexter.
I could just be mad, or not mad. I could just be like, talking shit to you because I'm bored and I miss you. Whole ass nigga.
Family Guy, American Horror Story, Pretty Little Liars, Law and Order, and even some Disney and Pixar titles.
Nothing
they had
but
the Harry
peak on
Potter
that
films. They had Star Wars. They had classic movies like Shawshank Redemption, The Godfather, The Dark Knight. They even had Marvel titles.
They had the Shawshank Redemption in Star Wars? Whoa, wait, yeah, no, that was peak. Stop yelling at me in the chat, bro. I wasn't there. I didn't see the bracelets.
Titles before Disney Plus launched. It felt limitless, like the entire entertainment industry was in
Shameless
one app
on
for the price of a fast food meal. Today, $8.99 gets you 9,000 shows you will never watch, and that's with ads. And if you don't want ads, no problem. That's $25 a month. Plus, every studio with a morsel of valuable IP decided to make their own app. So instead of one library, you get 10 half libraries, each charging you separately. HBO Max, $21 a month. Hulu and Disney Plus, $19 a month.
Ooh.
Peacock, $17. Apple TV Plus, Paramount Plus, Discovery Plus, Stars Play, BritBox, and niche ones like Shudder, Crunchyroll, Acorn TV all jumped into the fight, each charging $4 to $20 a month. I sometimes have this thought like, man, I wish I could just pay one price for all of the streaming services grouped together, and then I realize
that's called cable.
That's kind of what cable was.
Exactly.
It's supposed to be the solution to cable's outlandish prices and bloated packages, and yet they are slowly turning into the very thing they sought to destroy.
Cable was,
Check out this old residential cable service price sheet from 1993. Just your basic news and weather channel.
2 to 13 only was $8. Damn, 2 to 13 channels. Standard service. Okay, where the good shit at? Where's the Disney Channel, bro? Yeah. I knew I had this. I probably didn't have HBO Cinemax. I don't think I had all of that, but I definitely had Disney Channel and Nickelodeon, bro. I definitely had that, bro. I definitely had that.
Channels was the same cost as Netflix when they first launched. Adding just 2 or 3 premium channels like the Disney Channel takes the price from $8 to $20 to $27 per month. This is actually insanely expensive.
They getting higher because they have to have all the other shit charging hella prices. I'm telling you right now, bro. The reason why streaming sucks and it makes me mad, and the only reason why I know this is because of how much I love theme parks. Disney Plus itself loses money year after year. Okay? Now this year, I don't know if they lost money. We won't know that until their earnings reports and stuff will come out. Disney Plus loses money year after year. The only streaming service for a while that was making money, like actually turning a profit, was Netflix. Disney Plus loses money, HBO Max loses money, Peacock loses money, Hulu loses money. All of them lose money, which is why they merge and make stuff like how Disney Plus has Hulu and ESPN all under like one umbrella now, because they were all losing money. That was the only way that they could stop losing money. These streaming services bleed money year after year, but they, for some reason, in their tiny little brains, it's the next wave. So they're gonna just keep dumping money into it, billions of dollars, and they're losing it. They don't make money. They literally do not turn a profit off of this shit, bro. That's what makes me more mad about it, bro. Is like they're not bumping up the prices because they're making money. They're bumping up the prices so they lose less money. That's what it is.
For the 90s, especially when you consider that you did not get to choose what content to watch or when you could watch it, and of course you still had commercials. Streaming solved all of these problems, but in 2025 almost all of these problems are back. I recently wanted to watch The Founder after doing research for my fast food video, but Netflix would not allow me to watch it since I pay for the cheapest version of Netflix that has ads. I was annoyed, but I thought maybe it had something to do with McDonald's having some sort of strict licensing issue that forced Netflix to lock it behind the premium tier, but it turns out there are 138 movies and TV series blocked on Netflix advertising tier. For $8 per month, you cannot watch Spider-Man, White Chicks, Boys in the Hood, or even the Garfield movie. Half the time, you don't
Reed Hastings, Ted Ascent, everybody on this list. Everybody on this list. Hear me and hear me good, bro. Hear me and hear me good. I can't watch Spider-Man and White Chicks. Prepare for a brick through your window, bro. I'm so dead ass. And maybe just because of the fact you didn't let me watch Spider-Man, fuck a break. My whole 2006 Pontiac G6 named Monica through your living room. Since you want to play with me, bro. Since I look like the one to play with. Type shit. Since you want me to shell out $25 to watch Spider-Man, right? Which I could, lucky for me, I bought it on DVD. Well, I didn't buy it on DVD. My parents bought it on DVD back in 2003. Okay? Lucky for you, that's the case. But maybe I didn't have that. Maybe something happens to that disc. Or maybe I'm somebody that doesn't have that disc. I'll show you I'll show you how to spend some money, nigga. It's gonna be all in damages. I hope Progressive got your home, your auto, your bundle, whatever the fuck, bro. I hope your wife isn't home and I hope your kids ain't home, because I'm just coming for y'all. Everybody right here. Yep. Prepare to see my car through your living room, since you want to keep playing with me. I ain't the one to fucking play with.
don't even know whether something isn't available or not because of licensing contracts, region restrictions, or just because you're on the wrong subscription plan. The end result feels exactly like cable again, paying more money just to unlock what you thought you were already paying for, thus making piracy the logical solution. You can go to these super cool websites that I never endorse because that is wrong.
We have never been on those websites, not a day in our lives. Pirating is bad. It is horrible. And we do not condone that.
And immoral, and just search basically any movie and get a high definition download. However, cable being much more expensive actually did have a slight benefit that nobody realized at the time. The competition for ratings meant that the shows that survived were usually the best of the best. Every network was fighting for limited primetime slots, and if a show could not pull in millions of viewers week after week, it was canceled. There was no filler at primetime. Seinfeld, Friends, The Simpsons, The X-Files, Sex and the City, Buffy the Vampire
had to be peak back in the day, bro. Had to be peak back in the day, bro.
Slayer.
That's also why we remember our shows. I'm sorry I'm pausing a lot, but like that's probably also why we remember our shows like as 2000s, 90s, you know, like all the kids that have grown up without the like the oversaturation of like streaming and even like content on the internet, really. You get what I'm saying? We remember a lot of it being way better than it, like, way better than anything now because of the fact it had to be. Now you could just put, like, slop. Like, honestly, to me, Big Mouth, after, like, after, like, the second or third season, horrible show. Horrible show. I'm actually not rewatching. I'm watching The Chi right now because I really wanted to get into the show. After like the third season, or like after the second season, it takes a just down, and it's still got like it's got 7 seasons. And I'm not just saying pull the cord every single time. Like at least give us like one more season of closure. But like y'all just be throwing slop out into the streets and then expecting us to watch it, bro. Like, no, I understand. Not everything is going to be the Fresh Prince levels of, like, sitcoms or, like, even, like, Full House or Friends, even. But, like, dude, there are so many, like, I feel like me as a child, I had, like, and this is not just nostalgia glazed glasses, dude. Like, I really feel like we had better things, bro. Like, our entertainment was so much better than what y'all have nowadays, bro. Like, it by far.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I could go on and on. Networks weren't pumping out hundreds of new series every year just to fill catalog space. They were making sure the few shows they produced had the writing, acting, and budgets to succeed. And to no surprise at all, these old shows are still dominating streaming services today.
To this day,
in 2022, Seinfeld racked up 19.3 billion viewing.
I'm surprised Friends is not on this list. I've heard more people talk about Friends than Stranger Things. I've heard more people talk about Friends than Criminal Minds. Probably even, like, Grey's Anatomy, I can't lie. But, like, the show Friends has people that were babies. Literal, like, diaper shitting babies. that are, like, super fans of the show. Like, kids that literally could not even comprehend words when the show wrapped and it was done filming are super fans of the show. Like, it's crazy, dude.
Minutes on Netflix, making it the 10th most watched show of that year. Compare that to one of their most popular originals, Wednesday, which was everywhere in 2022. Viral on TikTok, Jenna Ortega was launched into A-list fame. It was damn near a monoculture moment, yet it still drew fewer minutes than Seinfeld, a 30-year-old sitcom. Shows like The Umbrella Academy and The Rings of Power pulled in about half the audience of Seinfeld. Cable forced networks to compete for your attention in a way that streaming doesn't. And to take that one step further, today shows and movies are literally designed knowing that people are not all the way paying attention to them. Netflix has leaned into what's called the second screen era, where they assume that most viewers are watching TV while scrolling their phones, cooking, or doing laundry. Hollywood writer, director, and producer Justine Bateman said, "I've heard from showrunners who are given notes from the streamers that this isn't second screen enough," which begs the question, why would someone give all of their attention to something that is only designed to be consumed with half of their attention?
If this is true, this is the laziest shit I've ever heard in my life. This is the laziest. And if this is true, I will cancel my Netflix subscription now, dude. Like that actually like pissed me off. So, because you feel as some people are on their phone watching your shows, you're just gonna make the show worse. So I hope you choke. Like I'm so dead ass. Like this shit is getting me tight. I hope you choke, bro. I hope you choke. That is the laziest, most. Hey, fuck you, bro. Fuck you, bro. Fuck you, bro. Fuck you, bro.
According to reports, Netflix execs are urging screenwriters to have characters announce their actions out loud so that viewers can follow along without looking at the screen. For example, "We spent a day together," Lohan tells her lover James in Irish Wish. "I admit it was a beautiful day filled with dramatic vistas and romantic rain, but that doesn't give you the right to question my life choices. Tomorrow, I'm marrying Paul Kennedy." "Fine," he responds. "That will be the last you see of me because after this job is over, I'm off to Bolivia to photograph an endangered tree lizard." This kind of over-explaining feel.
You know, I remember And this means a lot to me because I still want to be like a screenwriter, actor. Like, I want to do something in film, no matter what it is. They literally, one of like the simplest rules that they tell you when they're talking about film is show me, don't tell me. You get what I'm saying? Show me you're doing something. Don't tell. Show me the romantic whatever and rain. Because when you say that to me, I don't even remember it because it was just word salad. You have to show it to me. Show me this romantic scenery that is supposed to make me feel this way. You get what I'm saying? And then I'm supposed to watch the show and be like, but it was so great. Man, the rain and the romantic atmosphere. You get what I'm saying? I'm supposed to feel that because you showed me what was going to happen. And then when he goes, well, it doesn't matter because I'm leaving tomorrow. That's when my brain, because I have one of those, right? I can use it, right? Because I'm not an idiot, okay? And I will sit there and remember, maybe earlier in the movie, he got a job to go to Bolivia to go take pictures of the bird. You get what I'm saying? That's when my brain goes, well, are you gonna just let him leave? He's taking that job in Bolivia. You'll never see him again. You get what I'm saying? I'm supposed to I'm supposed to use my brain. That's what my brain's for. I can think. Okay, you don't have to tell me everything that's going on because I'm not a child, and even children understand that. Like, come on, bro. Like, y'all literally think I'm like a short bus kid, bro. Stop.
Was completely unnatural, and real people don't talk like this.
Not at all.
It makes what should feel cinematic like a boring audiobook. And look, I'm all for casual viewing. I know a ton of my audience casually watches my videos while doing other things.
Exactly.
But also, I make low-budget YouTube videos that are free to watch, not multi-million-dollar films behind a paywall. I don't know about you, but when I watch a movie, I like to pay attention. By training viewers to expect content that doesn't demand their full attention, Netflix is creating an audience that's even less likely to pay attention. And the less they pay attention, the less they care about quality. And as long as they feel just entertained enough, means they likely won't cancel their subscription. It's almost like they are conditioning the perfect audience who will barely pay attention to their content or their credit card bill so they can increase prices while lowering the quality for an audience who doesn't even notice. In the cable era, a show needed to be excellent to survive. Well, not forever.
Mind you, there's actually people that this caters to because I remember, I think I was in like high school and I was talking to this girl. Excuse me. I was talking to this girl and she was like, well, I don't really like to watch movies because like, I just can't pay attention that long. I stopped talking to her. What the fuck you mean you can't pay attention for 2 hours? What the fuck do you mean you can't pay attention that long? You sound stupid. I don't like watching movies because I just can't pay attention that long. An hour and a half? An hour and a half? You can scroll down TikTok for 4 hours, but you can't watch an actual film for 2 hours. That's when I noticed some people were just fucking stupid, bro. Like, that's when I just noticed some people just couldn't comprehend anything.
Actually, this started to die in the 2000s. Once cable became the dominant form of television in America, the few companies at the top could now take advantage of their market dominance. Cable prices climbed 40% in just 6 years, jumping from about $34 in 2000 to $47 in 2006.
Damn.
Meanwhile, inflation only rose 14.3% in that same period. Cable companies such as Comcast, Spectrum, Dish, DirecTV, and Cox started bundling networks into giant packages with hundreds, sometimes thousands of channels. If you wanted to watch ESPN, you were forced to also buy Lifetime, QVC, the Golf Channel, MTV3, and whatever else they decided to shove into the bundle. You weren't allowed to just pick the 5 or 6 channels that you actually watched. And now, streaming companies are doing a similar tactic. They flood their platforms with new shows and movies you will never watch because adding volume creates the illusion of value, justifying their increasing price. Netflix alone released 589 new Netflix originals in 2024, just slightly over its 2023 total of 568.
No way there was 589 new Netflix shows. No way.
Possibly be nearly 600 new shows and movies worth watching every year.
Mind you, there's like there's probably over 50 Netflix shows that they could have just gave other season. Shout out Teenage Bounty Hunters and Daybreak. I watched both of the first seasons of those, and Netflix just said, haha, we're not renewing it. But then I got my 15th season of Big Mouth. I'm so happy about that.
But it's all part of the bigger plan. Every year, Netflix originals slowly take up more of their catalog, and then they license less. In 2022, over 50% of their catalog was originals. Now, some of these originals are good. Ozark, Queen's Gambit, Beef are just a few off the top of my head.
Queen's Gambit was peak. I didn't watch Beef yet, but...
But the rest are mostly filler. They are watering down their product to save money instead of purchasing valuable shows, because licensing the movies and TV shows you actually want to watch cost a fortune. In 2019, Netflix lost both Friends and The Office, two classic, reliable sitcoms that were some of the most watched shows on their platform, after Warner Media and NBC pulled the rights for their own services. To fill that gap, Netflix struck a massive deal to acquire Seinfeld, reportedly paying over $500 million for global streaming rights, and that's only for 5 years. So they would have to spend another fortune to keep the show. And this is the cycle we're stuck in now. Streamers don't want to pay billions to keep the classics that people actually want to watch, so they crank out repetitive, boring, low-budget originals that are literally designed for you to halfway pay attention to. Then they slowly raise the monthly price because look at all this new, fresh, original content we're giving you. And users have been conditioned to only watch casually anyways, so they barely notice the dip in quality. Plus, that's only one streaming service. Every company with a little bit of valuable IP started their own app, and they're doing the same exact system. So now, if you want a library of great shows and movies, you need to subscribe to multiple services. The average household actively uses around 4 streaming apps, and 8% even access 10 or more. That equals about $69 per month, which is just about the same price that cable was in the early 2010s when everyone jumped to streaming. Piracy is the solution to all of these problems. Piracy reached a low in 2020 with 130 billion website visits, which by the way is still a ton. But by 2024, that number had risen to 216 billion. And it's actually incredibly simple as to why. Gabe Newell, the founder of the online video game marketplace Steam, summarized this perfectly nearly a decade ago. We think there is a fundamental misconception about piracy. Piracy is almost always a service problem and not a pricing problem. If a pirate offers a product anywhere in the world, 24/7, purchasable from the convenience of your personal computer, and the legal provider says that the product is region locked, will come to your country 3 months after the US release, and can only be purchased at a brick and mortar store, then the pirate service is more valuable. In short, convenience is key, and people are willing to pay, but why are they making it so complicated? The music industry got it right for the consumer. They created something so simple that it wasn't even necessary to pirate music anymore. At its peak, Napster...
Bro, I didn't, like, honestly, as stupid as this sounds, I never, like, put side by side movies and TV shows and then just how easy it is to get music. Music, you either got, like, you got 2 big options, I should say. Apple Music, Spotify. Of course, you got your SoundCloud, you got your Musies, you get what I'm saying? Of course, you got those as well. But, like, for the most part, I would say most people have Spotify, and then they have Apple Music. I would say Apple Music, like Apple, people that have Apple products listen to Apple Music. People that have Apple products and or don't have Apple products also have Spotify. It's either one or the other, and almost all music is there. And if the music's not there, it's on this third option that I didn't even call out yet, YouTube. So it's like there's really only 3 places, you get what I'm saying, that you can get music from. And YouTube has everything. Try not finding something on YouTube, bro. That damn near impossible, boy. Damn near impossible, boy. Come on now.
Had nearly 80 million registered users downloading and sharing music for free. By the mid-2000s, sites like LimeWire and BitTorrent were handling billions of illegal downloads every year. Year over year, music revenue sales were dropping, and the music industry executives were convinced it was because of piracy. That's when Spotify, Apple Music, and other music streaming services came around to essentially make the Netflix of music. However, these services are better because there is no exclusivity. No matter what service you pay for, you will have access to basically the same exact music Music as any other platform. One monthly price and nearly every song and album ever made. Now, this isn't necessarily all good. This has devalued music incredibly, and artists get fractions of a penny per stream, but unfortunately, the customer doesn't care because the service is better for them. But we might be at a tipping point with music streaming services because Spotify is seemingly taking a page out of Netflix playbook and prioritizing their own music over licensed music, but the problem is it's AI generated. But that's a whole different video. Compared to now, it seems like in the early 2010s, streaming services had it right.
Apple Music would never, bro. Apple Music would never, bro.
All they had to do was not change. Piracy was at an all-time low in the early 2010s because it was safer, easier, and not a financial burden to just pay for the content you wanted to watch. Now, there are always going to be people who simply don't want to or can't pay. This is extremely common with pay-per-view events. For many years, Dana White and the UFC waged war against sites like Crackstreams, trying to convince everyone that he would get them shut down.
You kind of stirred the pot a little bit with the piracy, the online streamers. They want to come after you and give this thing away. So, any regret? It kind of maybe stirring the pot a little bit.
I'm glad you asked me about that because we got one.
What the hell was that?
We got him. We're watching this guy right now. All you have to do is turn it on Saturday, and we got you. I can't wait. Turn it on Saturday, streamers, and see what happens.
Nothing happened. 4 years later, and you could watch any UFC fight,
Bro, because they know as much as they want to talk about we don't like piracy, mostly like the UFC, okay? As much as they don't like piracy and this, that, and the third, it helps them. It helps them. Is it taking money out of their pocket? Yes, but it is also giving them accessibility to the masses. The motherfuckers that are tweeting about it on Twitter probably didn't pay for that pay-per-view, bro. They went on whatever stream site, bro. They went on whatever. My fault. They went on whatever site, and they pirated it. They watched it, and then they were tweeting on their second monitor. They were tweeting the whole time. Oh my God, I can't believe Poyer got knocked out. You get what I'm saying? Whole time. They know they need that shit, bro. They know they need that shit. Because, bro, we not selling out. We not selling out $50, bro. You better be happy I'm even watching this shit, man. Come on.
Clear HD on a handful of different free streaming sites. Dana eventually realized he was losing the battle with illegal pay-per-view streamers, and to everyone's surprise, he actually made a deal that benefits the consumer now. In 2026, all UFC events will air exclusively on Paramount networks in the United States. That means 13 marquee numbered events and 30 fight nights will air via Paramount Plus. For $13 per month, you can get all the UFC events and all of Paramount.
Best thing you could have fucking done. This is the best case scenario for him, bro.
Paramount's content ad-free. This is actually a monumental shift. For the first time ever, fans will have access to the fights at the lowest cost in history. But it's not all positive. Some suspect that this is the beginning of the UFC resorting to basically all the exact issues I have already raised with streaming services. Once the UFC moves fully to a streaming platform, they've got your money locked in, whether the card is stacked with superstars or filled with nobodies. That pressure to deliver massive must-see events disappears overnight. And honestly, that's already been happening in the past couple years. The storytelling is basically non-existent, cards are bloated with fighters nobody cares about, their upcoming talent pool is getting less impressive and exciting, but now the cost of
I have nothing to say about UFC, I don't watch it. I watch boxing more than I watch UFC, I can't lie.
So as long as you get one good card per year, it's technically worth the subscription. They quite literally just cheapened their product, so we should expect the quality to decrease even more. Also, fighters have traditionally been paid based on pay-per-view points, meaning if the card sold well, they got paid well. Once that model disappears, the UFC has to raise base pay for their top stars just to keep them happy. That makes those stars more expensive to book, so to save money, the UFC will inevitably have them fight less. Fewer high-profile matchups, more watered-down fight nights, and a whole lot of filler. Fans will pay less, but they also will get less. All of these companies across the entire entertainment industry, besides music, kinda, have overcomplicated their model of delivering content to customers consumers for the sole purpose of squeezing every last dollar out of the end user. I believe most people are good people, and I don't think anyone expects to get quality entertainment for free. We were in a good sweet spot in the 2010s, but greed ruined it. Now the costs are higher, the content is worse, and the convenience is gone. I've canceled nearly all of my subscriptions or reduced to just the ad tier because I just don't watch as much. And I know I'm not alone. When the system no longer respects the consumer finds another way. That's why piracy doesn't feel like stealing anymore. It feels like the logical solution.
W video from Patrick CC. And he's completely right. He's completely right. People don't see it as like, oh my god, I'm doing something illegal. You get what I'm saying? It's just like, I'm not spending $60 to $90 a month to watch the shows I want to watch, bro. I simply won't. So because I simply won't do that, and I can get this stuff for free, fine. If they brought all of these subscriptions down to, I would say, $12 a month. Actually lower. $10 a month. I don't think they're gonna go $10 a month. I think probably the lowest they will go is 12. I see a lot more people jumping back on. Ad free $12 a month. I see a whole lot of people jumping back onto the bandwagon. But they won't do that. So since y'all won't do that, I will gladly, or don't worry about what I'll be doing, bro. But what you should do is like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, let's get it in. Took a sip of Henny, so I had to bring out F&N. You told me they really wasn't fucking with a Rassy, so I just had to bring out the fault, nigga, pot.